Who better to be joining us this morning than TalkSPORT presenter and Women's World Cup host Faye Carruthers. Welcome to Jeremy Kowal's Breakfast Show. How are you?
Morning, very well, thank you.
Good to have you on. There she is, Faye. Where are you? What are you doing? Are you out doing a run or something? What's happening?
No, I'm in my studio, but my mic isn't hooking up. So
don't you worry.
On this video.
Listen, it's extraordinary, the response over here. Spain in the final on Sunday, 11 a.m. the kickoff, live and exclusive on TalkSPORT. An extraordinary performance. The question everybody wants to know, Faye, is do you genuinely believe the Lionesses can go all the way?
Yeah, I do. I said at the beginning of the tournament that they certainly had the skills and attributes in order to do that, and they've shown it throughout the tournament. They haven't played their best, and they've still managed to find a way to win. And when you've seen all the big teams falling by the wayside as we go along, you know, it's opened right up. And this Spain team are good, but they're fallible. So I think that the Lionesses are going to do it.
Let's talk about Spain, actually. I'm not an expert, but I was talking to Lionesses yesterday, and I was reading a really interesting article. Apparently, they absolutely hate their coach. This has been going on for some time. I read this extraordinary story that a delegation of players went to the head of the Spanish FA and said, we want him out. It resulted in some not being picked for this tournament. Things like, and people think I've gone mad, but I know I haven't because I read this somewhere, that he would insist they left their bedroom doors open at night in the hotel so he could check they were in bed and then shut the doors for them. This isn't made up. This is true, isn't it?
There's some really uncomfortable allegations against Jorge Vilda. The Spanish Federation have decided to back him and not the players. And you mentioned those 15 players, 12 of them are not at this tournament. So 12 of Spain's, you know, elite players who've gone through the ranks with them aren't at this World Cup and aren't experiencing this, you know, incredible route to the final, which is really sad. And there's a lot of people within this tournament, within women's football, who don't want Spain to win for that reason. That's quite harsh on the players that are playing. 3 of those 15 are on the pitch as well. They came back. It wasn't explained exactly why, but they were reintroduced, and it's thought it's because they apologised. The rest of the team, you know, are sticking by their allegations and by their morals, and they say they will never play for Spain while he is at the helm. But the Spanish Federation have decided to stick with him, and the manager himself has turned around and said, you know, we wouldn't be in this position if they hadn't stuck with me. So
it's interesting. I watched some footage of when they won the quarter-final, and at the final whistle they walked straight past their coach. I mean, like, you see Sarina Wiegman and everything that happens after the Lionesses win. And let's bring it on to Sarina Wiegman. You might disagree with what I'm going to say. I think this is an extraordinary performance. 4 major finals with 2 countries in the last however many years. All the newspapers in the United Kingdom yesterday, Faye, which I think is massively unfair, saying, oh, she could be the next manager of the England male team. Why don't we just allow this amazing lady and these ladies to have their moment before we start what I believe is a completely irrelevant debate? This is about the Lionesses and about women's football, isn't it?
It is, and it always is, but it always gets linked to the men's game, and it is frustrating. But with success, that, you know, that link always comes. We always talk about the first female coach within the men's game as well. And yeah, I think we need to focus on what they're actually doing out in Australia first and foremost. There will be a female coach in this country at some point, because the levels of coaching have increased so massively. And Sarina Wiegman has already been named as the best coach in the world, and she certainly is. And, you know,
why is she, Faye? What is it about her? It's interesting.
Oh, well, I've been behind the scenes with her. She's an incredible man manager. She's just, she knows she has empathy. She has a really strong coaching team behind her that are tactically astute. She is not afraid to try something different. She is just all round a people person. So she communicates with her players, and you actually see that with Gareth Southgate as well. And the success that he's had equally is because he communicates. So there's no split in the dressing room. There's no, you know, everybody is. Is she hard when she needs to be? Because she's such a calm person. When you see her interviewed and when you see her, there seems to be this real and like you say, like Southgate, the age-old sort of football manager will be the person that shouted. Can you imagine Sarina Wiegman dishing it out though? That's what I'm fascinated about. She can dish it out, but she dishes it out in a very different way. Nobody likes to get shouted at, and you also have to know the people that you're coaching and the personalities, and she gets to know the personalities of her players. So she knows what is likely to work with this player. Probably shouting at them isn't going to work. That's going to make them retreat. So she, just goes with the attributes that each player has, and she's very, very good at it. And it's what's made her successful. It's what all the players talk about when they speak to her. But she has a steeliness. I've interviewed her. She gets, if you question her with something, she will bat straight back as well. She's got that kind of Dutch, don't mess kind of attitude at the same time. And we saw when she decided a couple of years ago to hand the captaincy to Leah Williamson and leave Steph Houghton, the former England captain, out of the England team and speak to Steph about that. She's been very hard when she's needed to be.
Listen, I think it's going to be amazing. Full coverage on TalkSport 2 this Sunday. We need, please, Faye Carruthers, a prediction. All of us are on the edge of our seats. What do you reckon? Give me. You believe they're going to bring it home, right?
Yeah, I do. And we beat Spain in the quarterfinals of the European Championships, and it was 2-1 after extra time. And I'm going to go for 2-1 after extra time. And it's on TalkSport, by the way, on Sunday. We've got build up from 10 o'clock from Box Park at Wembley, and it's going to be a brilliant atmosphere.
Thank you, Faye Carruthers. Cannot wait. Everything on TalkSport from 10 a.m, as you heard us say.